Smoked cheese on the grill. Can we do it? Absolutely. Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to another episode of VickCook, where Vic cooks. So today, I decided I want to show you guys how I make smoked cheese on the grill. I love cheese, a very beautiful, delicious delicacy snack, and it's cheap too. That's important. So it's a cheap snack, very tasty, but I also like to smoke it because why not? So this is about how I set up my grill for cold smoking, because you want the grill to, it's like a science kind of. You want the grill to burn, obviously, because you gotta have smoke, but you're gonna want to do so at a very low temperature. And there's a lot of tricks we can do to help incorporate this, get this going. So the first thing I do is I got my fire starter at the bottom with just my chimney going. So that's just, heating up my coals. These are leftover coals that I used from the last time I grilled. That's probably way too many coals that I'll need, but I can do a couple little tweaks here and there to make sure that the grill stays lower. I want to keep it low at about under 100 degrees. So we'll see how it is. And then the bigger grill you have, the more space you have, so it's not heating up that hot. So we're gonna head inside. I'm gonna prep the cheese. I'm gonna let this go, and hopefully when we come back out here, this will be ready. I think actually I'm going to put this up under. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna move this on top. There we go. There we go. So I just moved it inside my basket, so that way, hopefully, when some of these do fall in there, they'll fall right on top of the. They'll fall right on top. So let's head inside, and I'll show you how I prep my cheese. Actually, okay, there we go. So let me pause it. I'll get it set up. Alrighty, so let me adjust this a little bit. So we got most of the stuff here set up for what we'll need to be able to smoke the cheese. And it really doesn't take long to prep. Now, for smoking it, normally I do hickory. I thought I had hickory, but I don't. I just got these mesquite wood chips. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bowl, and I'm just gonna fill it up with some wood chips. All right, that should be plenty. That should actually be more than enough. And then I'm gonna take this and soak it in water. So while my grill's outside getting ready to go, this is also, so now that's gonna be sitting there with some water. So by the time the grill's ready to go, these should be well soaked enough in order to keep my temperature down. All right, and then I'm gonna get my cheese. And bam, it's as simple as that. Got my cheese ready. What I am gonna do is, I was gonna trim it up to make it look nice and fancy, but we won't do that. We'll just get right into it. And then what I am gonna do though is I'll set this here. I am going to fold this up a little bit. There we go. And I don't need to wrap it at all. I'm not going to wrap it. I'm just going to lay it right on the foil. And it's going to do its thing on the grill. And this will be easy enough to transport. Another tip that I do is I'll take a little pan like this. And this will help you keep your temperature down on the grill. So what I'll do is I'll just add some ice cubes. All right, so what the ice is gonna do is it's gonna keep everything cool, and also I do add a little bit of water to the ice, and what this does essentially is gonna keep water really does a good job of absorbing heat, and it also is gonna add a little bit of moisture so that way the cheese doesn't dry out, I guess, if it can dry out. But sometimes I'll add like a little water pan or like a drip pan, and I'll add like a little bit of water or apple juice to it, just so that way whatever meat I'm smoking stays moist. I don't think I don't have to worry about anything drying out, but to keep it moist, just for the sake of good moisturized smoke, we'll do that. So let's head back outside. I'm gonna bring you know, I have to bring everything out one by one, but that's all right. That'll give me time to make sure this is going good. All right, so I'm gonna bring all the equipment out of here. I'm gonna let that go for a little bit, and then I'll show you exactly how we set it up. It's a really cool day outside. It looks like it might rain. That might also play into an advantage to helping us keep this grill nice and cool. All right, so we are ready now. The fire's starting to come up through the top a little bit. The coals are being shaken down. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how I load it. So I'm gonna try to keep everything. On one side. That way I can do indirect smoking, and that'll help me keep the cheese away from as much heat as possible. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my basket of coals. I'm just gonna drop them right on in there. Alrighty. So I got my coals. Alright, there we go. Alright. So I got my coals in there. What I'm gonna try to do is pull everything to the front side of the grill. Because my exhaust is on the back side. So when I close it like this, the front of the grill is where the heat will be, and I'm gonna try to force it so that way the heat rises up, goes over or under or through the cheese any kind of way, and then comes up this top vent right here. So I have that in there at the bottom. That's ready to go. I got both my vents open because I do want the fire to go. I don't want to put it out. Then what I'll do is I'll take a couple of my wood chips and I'll just kind of sprinkle it over the coals. And this is gonna add a nice hickory flavor to it. Or not hickory, mesquite. Hickory was sold out, I guess. There we go. And I don't want to put too much, but if they're soaked, they should burn slowly, and add a little bit more. And like right away, I'm starting to smell that like bitterness to it. So hopefully that bitterness of the smoke will be added to the cheese. So next I'm gonna add my diffuser plate, or whatever they call it. So this little plate that came with the grill, I am going to just throw that in there. And what that does is that helps block some of the direct heat, kind of separates it, evens it out a little bit. And then also what I'll do is I'll put my water and ice pan right on top of that. So now that's gonna bubble eventually, but also it's gonna add a lot of moisture. And as you can see, we're getting some smoke already, you know. Getting nice, beautiful smoke. Then I'll add my grate. I'll add it to the very top. And then I have my cheese here. I'm gonna place my cheese right over there. Now, you may notice that it is gonna maybe sweat a little bit, but as long as it sweats, that's good. As long as it doesn't start like melting and warping and falling, then you'll have a problem. But this is fine just like that is. I'm gonna close it, and see, now we got a nice little smoke coming out of there. Nice, beautiful blue smoke. And our temperature gauge looks like it's not even moving at all. Actually, it is moving up slightly, but now it's moving up. It's moving up. I should get another temperature probe and like see what the temp is up here. But I'm confident that as long as this stays low and it's far enough to where it's not gonna melt my cheese. But for safety, because I am gonna let this go for about an hour, I would say, maybe an hour I would say, I'm gonna close the vents and just add a little bit. So I'm gonna choke off that fire a little bit so that way it goes through smoothly. And it burns slow. I want it to burn slow, but still burn nonetheless, so that way I get a good smoke flavor into the cheese. So yeah, now, okay, crap. So now it's going up to about 125-ish. So I don't want it to do that. I want to drop it. However, like the way it's looking, there we go. So we got a nice Yeah, see now when I put my hand on the grill, it's still warm. It's warm, which that's fine. So that's what you want. You want to be able to touch the grill. Even like sometimes I'll come out here just touch the top of it, and as long as it's still warm or cool, I know my cheese is not gonna melt. So that's that. Actually, I would like the grill to be cold, but yeah, once this settles, I'm pretty sure it'll act right. And that's that for now. I'll probably do a part 2 in an hour, and I'll show you how the cheese came out. Maybe I'll slice some and eat it for you guys. The best thing, because I did it before, and what you want to do is you want to let it sit overnight. I don't know what it does about sitting overnight, but it really kicks that flavor up a notch. But when you take it off the grill, you'll be able to notice the flavor. But you'll notice it way more if you wait overnight to cut into it. So thanks for coming to VickCook, and I will see you guys later.